Paul wrote to the Ephesians, pray at all times. And he wrote to the Thessalonians, pray without ceasing. I don't think Paul had any children. I don't know about you, but I find my days are pretty full. It seems like I finish one chore and there's another one waiting for me. But I suppose the truth of it is that I like being busy. Sometimes it seems like we have an image of prayer as if it's for pastors, monks, and nuns only, as if it must involve sitting quietly and still for long periods of time, for hours, many times throughout the day. But if that's what prayer is, how is anyone supposed to do it without ceasing and at all times when they have family and work and responsibilities? Celtic prayers have been preserved and passed down to us, and they're an example of making prayer a part of every task and every chore. So we have a prayer that they would say when they're washing up with their basin of water. A handful of the love of God, a handful of the life of Christ, a handful of the peace of the Spirit, and the grace of my triune God cover me. Or a prayer for while brushing your teeth. Father, out of this mouth comes both blessing and curses. This should not be. Jesus, you said out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. Holy Spirit, create in me a new heart. We have a prayer for milking cows. O God, bless my little cow. Bless, O God, my work and the milking of my hands. Bless thou each drop that goes into my pitcher, O God. We have a prayer for later in the day as they started their fire. I will kindle my fire this day in the presence of the holy angels of heaven, in the presence of Mary and Joseph and the Holy Family. God, kindle thou in my heart a flame of love for my neighbor. And maybe you remember, or you've heard the children's nursery rhymes. I see the moon, and the moon sees me. God bless the moon, and God bless me. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Bless the bed that I lie on. 4 angels to watch me while I sleep, 2 at my head, and 2 at my feet. I encourage you to try. Come up with a prayer for each task. When you step out the door on an errand, when you set out on a journey, when you head off to work, whatever task you are going about, invite God to be a part of it. I have found that adding these prayers into my life accomplishes a few things. It reminds me that God is with me through each task, in the midst of every moment, whether I'm at work or rest or travel. It encourages me to be hospitable, to welcome God into my life. And not just God, but the angels, the saints, all of heaven, and to be hospitable to all people and to all creatures that come into my life. And it invites me to ask, who is this task meant to bless? So, as I clean my house, I think of my family. Think of their safety and their rest and their play. I think of guests that might come. And I think of God, who's the only one who can clean us within. As I shovel my walk, I think of everybody who will come by. May God bless them, keep them safe on their journey. May they know that God is with them wherever they are going. As I feed the birds each morning, remember the psalm. All living things look to you to give them their food. You open your hand, and they are filled with good things. May all who come into my home be welcome, safe, and blessed. For the Celts, all nature was connected to God and to them. They themselves were creatures alongside all other creatures, and everyone together was under God's care. Now, these prayers aren't for everybody. That's why Richard has created so many different practices and habits. To read the prayers of the Celts is to find yourself immersed in a world still enchanted, a world only thinly separated from the spiritual realm. Their prayers reveal them as a people who perceived God's presence all around them in an almost tangible human way. And so, if these prayers become part of your life, and if they don't, may God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be with you all, each and every day.